Alright guys, welcome to the channel again. So I've been working on a video and it's not been going well. Camera problems, so I busted out the trusty GoPro again and somebody in the comments was like, when are we going to see your 3M Cantata? So this sounded like a good excuse. So here it is. It's excuse me, manufactured in 67, I believe. We'll spin the plate around here. This is a 3M Cantata, first generation, in the beautiful wood grain. It's beautiful. All right, so here it is, and let's open the lid and show you. And of course, most of you have already seen the business here. So here it is, and right now is the tape cartridge that came with the Cantata. Rhythmic Library 266 Series 2, the first cartridge I ever had, and I think one of the better ones. So if we zoom in here with its fixed focus lens, you should be able to see the instructions there. And basically it shows you how to remove the cartridge in and out of the machine. It's basically saying make sure that you put the actual tape between the guideposts. Let me take this cover off here for you. I think what I should do is start with the operation of the machine. So imagine it's the mid-60s. You just spent the equivalent of, a used Toyota worth of cash on this thing, and you're like, all right, what do I do? Let's start from scratch. So you've just plugged it in. The technician has just installed it. You're like, wow, that's amazing. So you're handed a cartridge. So literally you just plonk it in and away you go. Now, there's one thing I've noticed that hasn't been explained correctly in this for 3M Cantatas. Something that I haven't seen explained very well is there's a switch here. Let's see if I can get a good shot of that. It basically says something to the effect, it's labeled 24-6, 15-15, and continuous. And what that switch does is it alternates between 24 minutes of music, 6 minutes of silence, 15 minutes of music, and 15 minutes of silence. And then continuous, of course, is non-stop 3M Cantata goodness. If you look at the original plate, it should have gone in this area on the lid, but unfortunately mine has long since fallen off and disappeared with time. The lid basically showed the recommendations. It suggested that office and factory have a 15-15 cycle, and retail stores were 24 minutes with 6 minutes of silent. I'm not sure exactly what the rationale for that was. I mean, it's probably something to do with that stimulus progression theory, or whatever their rationale is for music, but that's what that switch is there for, and that's what it does. It basically just alternates the different modes. So I'm gonna take this little switch out and we'll start disassembling this thing so you can see what all goes inside this 3M Cantata. So I'm gonna take the cartridge out here. And if you look at this, this just snaps up right here. And you can see it's that very nice Martin Business Machines label with our friend Ron. 10-1-68. It's a good year. So now we're gonna take this machine apart and show you the actual mechanism. So with 2 screws, this actually slides off, and you can see the instructions a little better there. And this is the actual tape mechanism. When I first got the machine, almost the entire, this being a California machine, fortunately, there's no rust, but almost every single grease point, everything that was greased is basically worn out. And you could see the rollers here, and these are the only thing I've actually had to replace on the machine. There's a gentleman in Michigan that specializes in making reproduction rollers for all sorts of tape devices, and he kindly was able to manufacture these, and since I got them from him, I've been able to use the 3M Cantata for its intended purpose. as you look at it, you notice that it's got almost like a cam here, and each one is set to different heights. You can see if I move it and actuate it, you can see the tape head goes up and down, and each one of these little, I'd say, valleys in this cam basically are the 4 different heights on the 1/4-inch tape, where the audio is. And the tape is, 4 mono tracks. So you got, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the cam has 4 different positions, and you can see the head basically actuates as you rotate the cam. Now the funny thing is, it's in 4 different positions, but if you actually look at the tape and how it's staggered, you could see position 1 is on the top row, position 2 is on the bottom row. Position 1 is on the top tape, position 2 is on the bottom tape, position 3 is on the top tape, and then position 4 is on the bottom tape. So they're not all in the same place. So it's 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4. It's it's a little weird, but it works. I know on the later machines, especially the later Cantata, they seem to have simplified this mechanism. It only has 1 roller, and this cam deal is basically simplified and cost reduced as much as possible. But there you go. That's the mechanism itself that interfaces with the tape. So now I'm going to guess you want to see the actual meat and potatoes of the machine. So you can bear with me here. So this machine itself weighs probably about 40 pounds. I mean, it's a big sucker. And you can see these are all the inputs and outputs on the machine. You can see it's got the patent applied for. You got an 8 ohm 6 watt external speaker jack. You got a PA mic input. And then you can see the model number is a 94BG. Takes 0.44 amps. The rest of the information is scratched off. 60 cycles, of course. 120 volts. This being a US machine. And there's a serial number for those of you who are interested. So the way this thing comes apart is it slides out as a unit, but I'm going to take the lid off because it's just a pain. It really reduces the weight probably by 5 pounds. It's a heavy beast. Volume control knob just pops right off. Same with the tone control arm. And then you can see as I pull this out here. Oops, forgot 2 screws. The entire unit should slide out here, and then with the disconnecting of the speakers. Alright, with the power of editing, there it is. There it is in all its naked glory there. Turn this around here. Bear with me, this sucker's just so damn heavy. Alright, so you can take a look at it. And this thing's actually a rim drive unit. It has a motor here. Let's see if you can see it. So it has a motor here, and there's a rubber. Not sure if you're going to be able to see it. There's a rubber. Excuse me. There's a steel. I don't know, capstan. I'm not sure what that's called. Basically, it rubs against this rubber disc, which engages the main drive mechanism right here. There's a series of rubber rollers. We can screw that over here. All right, so this is basically they have 1 motor drive the assembly. Power's taken off from this metal spindle, and it goes to this big rubber disc, and then that power is transferred to this gentleman right here, and this is where all the power is taken off for the rest of the machine. So if you press the on button, there's actually a momentary delay, and you can see by this spring mechanism right here, or this lever, it goes down, excuse me, and basically engages this rubber roller right here, which pushes against, where is it? It pushes against a roller and basically allows the main capstan right here, this guy right here, which actually the spindle, whatever you want to call it, it allows this is what actually spins or assists the pinch rollers in spinning the massive reels in the cartridge, is this guy. So once you press the on button, this guy, this guy is engaged and basically mechanically connects this wheel right here, and it basically connects it to this spindle that drives the both reels in the cartridge. And then combination of this and the pinch roller with this deal right here, this spindle post, whatever the case is, this rotates and it basically spins these pinch rollers, and this rotates as well to assist in the rotation of the cartridge. The off button basically does the reverse. You can actually see it engage here. It basically disconnects this rubber wheel and forces it to pull this off, so there's no longer any power here, and it forces the pinch rollers away from the spinning capstan. Now, here is you got an amplifier board, so you've got your volume control pots right here. You have a basically hollow tube which controls the tone, and an inner one which controls the volume. And there's two big old transistors here in the back, and various other goodness. I think that's even a germanium transistor in there. It's labeled RC. I don't know what it is, but it all works. I haven't had any issues with it, and I hope I don't. There's a 3M part number right here for the assembly if anyone's curious to see what it looks like. You got your power transformer right here, all your power takeoffs, and then you have your AC motor, this guy right here. For me, periodically this thing does need maintenance. In my case, I've had to lubricate it. Let's see, this thing's been running for about a year. I've probably had to lubricate it 3 times. It doesn't really make any noise, but you can tell when the music gets a little slow. I mean, you might have been able to see it in some of the earlier tapes when I didn't fully understand what was going on in the machine until I took it apart and saw what was going on. Yeah, you would actually be able to tell the difference, especially on the slower sections of the songs. Right here, at some point, 2 blades on the fan were broken. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but that's just how I got the machine, and all the pictures I've seen, they tend to be 4-blade fans, and it doesn't seem to affect it. Motor's fine, motor's free. I think it's just basically just to kind of half-ass move air across the motor so it doesn't burn out. And that's it. I don't really want to turn this on right now. I'm just not set up for it. But this video is more of a stopgap while I'm trying to get this other video I hope you guys are interested going on, and this is just a response to somebody in the comments. They wanted to see the 3M Cantata, so here it is. And it's quite a machine. I mean, for what it is, there's very little plastic on it. Everything that needs to be plastic, that's plastic is, and everything else is steel. And it's possibly it's aluminum. It's either it's steel and aluminum, because I know there was a little bit of rust on some of these components. So yeah, no, it's there it is. Well, I hope you enjoyed taking a look at that. I'm not really an audiophile, so I apologize. I don't know anything about tape mechanisms, what the proper words are. I mean, it's simple enough to take apart and actually look at it and see what it does. Just not very good at explaining it. This is just more for your enjoyment. If you want to take a look and just see what all's going on in there, be my guest. If you could see, they even right here they even put rubber mounts on the motor, so it's, you know, shock mounted. It flexes a little bit so it doesn't actually vibrate the machine and get all weird. Yeah, spring loaded to tent. That's just nice. Look at that, spring loaded to tent. As you push the switch in, it actually goes in and comes out. That's pretty good. Yeah, no, I hope you enjoyed taking a look at that. I'm just sorry. I wish I was a little bit more prepared. Once again, I'm gonna, you know, keep getting videos up and try to improve it. But like I said, this is a response to somebody in the comments, and hope you like what you see. All right. Well, thanks for watching, you guys, and I hope you have a good rest of the week. All right. Thank you.